Okay, it's time for some piano. Here we are. Hello, my friends. How are you today? I am so happy I get to see you for piano today. We have a lot of fun things planned. Let's first begin by singing the welcome song. Are you ready? Let's do it together. Sing hello, hello, sing hello, hello, Hello. Sing hello, hello, sing hello, hello, Hello. It's time for piano. Oh, that was fun. Very good job, my sweet friends. I'm so happy that you're here. I have a very quick message for the grown-ups watching. If you don't mind liking and sharing this video, that would help me reach even more piano learners that are looking for a piano teacher just like me. I appreciate each and every like and share, and go ahead and subscribe while you're at it. The button's right below this video, and it helps me reach my piano goals, okay? Thank you so very much. All right, well, children, I'm so excited to have our piano class today. Now, do you remember what we learned in our last lesson? We learned all about the treble clef. Do you remember? Yes. The treble clef is a really cute, really fun, curly Q looking one. You remember this one? Yeah, the treble clef wraps around all the way like this, and then right in the middle we have that cinnamon roll. You remember? Yeah, it's special because that cinnamon roll, the curl, wraps around a very special line on the staff. It wraps around the G line, right? Now, do you remember getting that song, A Happy Song, in your lesson book? You do. Very good. Well, let's see how you're doing with that song, okay? Go ahead and pull out your lesson book. Here it is. And we are going to turn to page 37, okay? We have that song called A Happy Song. Let's go ahead and play through it together to see how you've done with your practicing, okay? Let's switch to piano view. Okay, there we go, my friends. Now, in order for us to be able to play a happy song, we're going to have to find our spot on the piano. Luckily, we have a really good piano map on page 36 that has our right hand finger, one thumb on middle C, and all my other fingers each on a white key, okay? Now remember, we're reading those notes on the treble staff, so it's a little bit tricky, okay? Let's see how a happy song sounds. Let me count off. 1, 2, ready, play. Oh, that's so good. How did you do on A Happy Song? Did you get through all of it? You did! Oh, good! Give yourself a round of applause. You worked so hard on that one. I'm so proud of you. Well, I think it's time for us to get a new song. What do you say? I'm so ready for a new song, okay? Now, if you turn the page in your lesson book to page 38, we have a new song called Gee We're Glad, okay? Now, this one's really great too because it's still in that treble staff with the treble clef and our 5 lines, okay? Our right hand will still be in the C position that you know really well now. And we're going to be reading on that treble staff, okay? So let's switch to piano view and let's figure out how this song goes, okay? You can do it. Here we go. All right. Ooh, I see some really cool stuff here. So on page 38, I see G, we're glad. Oh goodness, look, there's some really funny froggies and some cats and some girls and boys looking here and saying hello. Now remember, I said we'll be in our C position. So find your middle C and put your right hand finger, 1 thumb there. We have fanned out the rest of our fingers. Let's see how this song goes. I see 4/4 time, so we are going to have 4 beats a measure. Mezzo forte, so not too loud. Our very first note is a pinky 5 on G, okay? I will play it through by saying my note names first, okay? Let's do it together. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, play. G, 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 F, E, D, C, C, D, D, E, F, G. Hold. Ooh, line 2, here we go. G, 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 F, E, D, C, D, E, D, C, 2, 3, 4. Wow, look at those notes. Did you see how many G's we had in this song? There was a ton of G's. Let me count. I'm going to count. Can you count with me? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 G's in a row. And then it goes down. And I see another G at the end of line 1. So just on the first line, we have 6 G's. Ooh, that's a lot. And then let's look on the second line and count how many G's we have there. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm looking and I'm looking. So we have 5 G's on the second line. That's a lot of G's in one song, isn't it? That's okay. I like that we have so many G's. The song is called G, We're Glad, right? That's very silly. Now I'm going to see if I can sing the words to the song now, okay? Let's see how it goes. Gee, we're glad you came to see us. Come back anytime you can. Gee, we love to have you visit. Please come back again. That's a nice song, isn't it? Yeah, it's basically talking about how much we love to hang out with each other and we want you to come back and visit, right? Very good. Let's go ahead and play it through one more time in piano view, okay? Let's see how it goes together. Okay, wonderful. I think I'm about ready. Let's see here. Let's find our spot. There's that middle C. I have fanned out my fingers. We are going to start with that finger 5, right hand on G. Let's count off. 1, 2, ready, play. that was so much better. Yeah, how do you feel about playing it that time through? You might be feeling a little bit better about it. Now that we know what the sound is supposed to be like, right? Going down, going back up, starting high and going back down. We're starting to read those notes really well on the staff. And that's wonderful. Very good. So we're going to keep Gee, We're Glad for this week's practice song, okay? I would like you to pull out your technique book now. Let's see if we can find it. Oh, there it is. There's my technique book with the exercising kids. Woohoo! I want you to turn to page 16. On page 16, you're going to find a really good warm-up for this week. We are going to be having a song here for our technique called Please Repeat Your Visit. Kind of sounds like what they talk about in Gee, We're Glad, right? We just want you to come back and visit us, right? But I see some really cool things in this exercise. I see lots of repeated notes. It's going to be really fun to play. So let me show you what it looks like. And let's play through it together. All right, let's switch to piano view. Wonderful, here we go. Now, right hand only, right? We're gonna put that finger one thumb on our middle C and fan out our fingers. Please repeat your visit begins with finger one on middle C. And I see 4 of them in a row. Oh goodness, this is gonna be fun. Let's see if we can play it through together saying our note names, okay? Here we go. 1, 2, ready, play. C, 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 up to D, 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 up to E, 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 up to F, F, and up to G. Hold. Ooh, going down now. G, G, down to F, F, down to E, E, down to D, D, down to C, C, up to D, D, down to C, C, C. Hold. Ooh, I see a repeat sign. Let's play it again. Here we go. Up to D. Up to E. Then to F and G. Hold line 2. G. F. E. D. C. D. C. And C. Hold. Oh, that was really wonderful. All right. I like that little warm-up, don't you? It's fun playing notes repeated like that. It helps me remember where each of those notes is on the staff. When you practice your technique, you may want to say those note names as you play them so you can remember what they look like. Now, I think it might be kind of fun to play it a little bit faster. What do you say? Let's do it. Let's give it a try. I'm going to play it a little faster for you so you can hear what it sounds like. And we're going to put the finger 1 on our middle C, okay? All right, I am ready to go. I'm going to play it a little bit faster. Listen for the count off. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, play. Wow. Repeat. was really fast, wasn't it? It was like really, really fast. But you know what? You can just keep practicing it at a good tempo that works for you. And then once you know those notes really well, try to make it a little faster, okay? I know you can do it. Oh, that's wonderful. So for your practice plan this week, you're going to practice in your lesson book, Gee, We're Glad, on page 38. And then you're going to practice Please Repeat Your Visit for your technique on page 16, okay? Very good. Oh, we've done a lot of great work today, haven't we? Now let's take a look and see what's going on in that theory book of yours, okay? So pull out your theory. Very good. We're going to turn to page 34, okay? Oh, this is a great page. We have page 34 and 35, and this is going to be helping us really remember those right-hand C position notes on the staff, okay? Here's what the page looks like, and then you'll also do page 35, okay? This is a very good practice exercise for you, so make sure to mark that in your practice plan too, okay? Now, moving on to Note Speller. There's some really great stuff happening here. Our Note Speller. We are going to turn to page 24. And on page 24, you are going to color treble clef notes, okay? Treble clef notes on 24, okay? It's great because you get to really make it into like a rainbow song. It says color each C that you see red. D's will be blue. E's will be yellow. F's are going to be green and your G's will be orange, okay? Very good. That's going to be so much fun. And when you're done coloring these notes on the treble staff, I would love it if you would post it in our Discord channel, okay? Find the Prep Stars channel. You can post a picture of what you did. I have to see your really great creations. Very good. Now, that's really exciting, huh? I think it might be a good plan for us to play our songs again. What do you say? It's always a good idea to play and do some written work and then come back and play some more, right? Did you have a chance to practice drawing your treble clefs last week? Oh, it's tricky, isn't it? I always like to trace it and pretend that that cinnamon roll is right there in the middle. Let's pull out our lesson book and play our songs one more time, okay? Lesson book. Here we go. Gee, We're Glad is on page 38. Now let's switch to piano view so we can play it together, okay? Okay, so starting here in C position, we've got our right hand finger, one thumb on C. We know this begins with the right hand finger 5, okay? Let's play it again together. And you know what? Let's play it 2 times. I think you'll like that. If you'd like to say your note names, you can do that while you play. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, play. G, 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 F, E, D, C, C, D, D, E, F, G. Hold line 2. G, 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 F, E, D, C, D, E, D, C, 2, 3, 4. Very good. Let's play it again. You can do it. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, play. Good, line 2. really worked super hard on your songs this week. You're going to be having a great time practicing, okay? Now, that was fantastic. Now, I have a little activity for us to do next. And it's really fun. It's called Treble Clef Spelling Bee. Woohoo! And it is so much fun, okay? Now, I am going to give you 6 different measures of notes in the treble clef that you know, okay? And guess what? They spell words. So it's going to be pretty cool. Let's get our first staff. Here we go. All right. So our very first staff that we have written here, the first measure, you've got 3 notes. You see those first 3 notes? Now, if you look at the treble staff, those will spell a word. Okay, so I'm going to switch to piano view and let's see if we can figure out this first measure together, okay? I love games. It's so much fun. So we've got the bottom line of our treble staff, and then we go up to 2 quarter notes on the second line. There's the curly Q. Those must be special, huh? So let's look and see if we can find those on the piano, okay? All right, let's figure this out. Bottom line of the staff for the treble staff it looks like it's going to be, and then the 2 notes above it, so that's an E. The 2 notes above it are up to the next line. I wonder what that spells. Now, if you know the answer, write it down. Very good. Now let's switch to the next measure we're going to learn. Now, if you look at the measure in the middle here, can you see that? I see this note, which is the first space in the lines. Then I see the bottom line 2 times. And then I see a space note under the 5 lines. Okay, there's 4 letters or 4 notes in this word. So let's see what it could possibly spell. We've got bottom space, bottom line 2 times, and a space note under the 5 lines, okay? Let's figure it out at the piano. Now, if I put my right hand in that C position, I am going to start with that first space in the staff, and I know that's actually going to be a finger 4. That's an F. Now the next 2 notes are on the next line below the F. So if you're going down 1 step from F, we've got, oh, very good. And then 1 step below that. Good. I'm going to play it again. Let's see if you can figure it out, okay? It spells a word. Excellent. Okay, if you know the answer, write it down. Now the last one here on this spelling bee page, we have a bottom line note and a space note under the 5 lines. They look very similar to the ones that we just had here and the one before. So let's get into our C position and see if we know that one too. That bottom line I know is going to be E. Down a step, it's going to be. Nice job. All right, so spelling bee part 1 is complete. Now, if you know the answers to those, write them down. I have one more spelling bee page. Are you ready for it? It's going to be a good one, okay? we've got 2 more measures to practice, okay? The first measure is right here. Take a look. 3 notes, and it spells a word. I see. Very good. Bottom space, and then the bottom line 2 times. We've seen those before on the page before that. Yeah, so let's play it on the piano and see what it sounds like. Here we go. Bottom line, let's find our C position. We've got excellent, yes. Very good. Now, we've got our final measure. Ooh, this one looks like a hard one. Now I'm going to hold it up here so you can look at it, okay? Remember, this is still treble stuff, okay? We've got bottom line, under the 5 lines. Ooh, our very special line here that has our curlicue. And then down a third to the bottom line again. Let's play it on the piano and see what it sounds like. Okay, so I'm going to put my right hand in C position again. Now I know after all of this time, that first one's got to be an E. 1 step down, all the way up, and down a third. Ooh, that's a fun word. You might need to ask your grown-up how to pronounce that one. We've got and that concludes our spelling bee. Good job! Now if you've got all of those answers, write them down, okay? You can also send me a private message on Discord if you want to share your answers with me. I'll make sure if you got them right, okay? Lovely work on that spelling bee. I know it was a little bit tricky, but you did a fantastic job, and I'm so proud of you. Now, we've got to sing the goodbye song, don't we? Absolutely. Let's sing the goodbye song. It's so much fun. Here we go. Sing goodbye, goodbye. Sing goodbye, goodbye. Time to sing goodbye. Sing goodbye, goodbye. Sing goodbye, goodbye. Time to sing goodbye. Very good. That was so much fun. Kids, you are finished with piano. Bravo for today. Now, for the grown-ups watching, I have a quick reminder. I am on Patreon, okay? So Patreon is wonderful because that is how I handle my living, okay? These lessons that I'm bringing week after week for your children are an absolute pleasure to bring, but it would make it so much easier if I had financial support on a regular basis from parents and grown-ups like you. If you see that your child is having fun, enjoying learning the piano with me, consider choosing a tier that works for you between $5 a month all the way up to $90 a month, okay? All my families get to decide if they want to do this. Being on Patreon is not a requirement, but as a donation-based studio, I do need to collect donations on a regular basis to help bring these lessons to you and to those families who cannot afford to pay me anything, okay? I very much appreciate that commitment that you make financially to me, and I cannot wait to bring you more lessons for your children, okay? And the last thing, of course, please subscribe. It's very easy to do, and if you can't make a financial commitment, a very easy subscribe right there below this video is the easiest way to support me on a regular basis, okay? I very much appreciate that. I mentioned earlier during lesson, we are also on Discord. So if you're looking to join a very supportive piano learning community with our children's lessons separated into their own private channel, please join us on Discord. We have a lovely time there, and you can find an invitation link in the campsite link in my description of this video, okay? Thank you very much. Now that concludes our lesson for today. Thank you again for joining me. I have a blast with your children every week, and I cannot wait to see them again. Thank you very much.